Hi, everyone. Good morning. My name is RJ Ledesma. Very honored to be your host for this segment of the Philippines Startup Week. We have for you today Velocity by 917 Ventures, the premier venture incubation program here in the Philippines. Now, for those of us who belong to the startup community or even in the broader entrepreneurial community, the most important question you want to be able to answer is always, what problem are you trying to solve? Again, what problem are you trying to solve? How do you turn your irritations into an inspiration for a viable business model? I'm sure we are always on the lookout for that aha moment that gives you that brilliant germ of an idea. However, having that brilliant idea is just one half of the battle. The next question is, how do you bring your idea to life? How do you get there? You might have the idea, but you don't know how to code. You don't know how to do accounting. You don't have a legal background. You don't know how to deal with the Department of Labor or the BIR or the DTI or the million other things involved in operations. And on top of all that, you're worried about how to get the funding. You just don't know where to start. If you want to find out where to start, what I suggest is that you talk to 917 Ventures with its venture incubation program, Velocity. Now, for Philippine Startup Week, we have the opportunity to speak with 917 Ventures Managing Director, Vince Iamat. Vince will share with us right now more about the type of problems that they're trying to solve in 917 Ventures, the talent they're looking for, and the unfair advantage that they have working together with Globe. So please welcome on stage Mr. Vince Iamat of 917 Ventures.
Thank you, RJ, and thank you to everyone here, the Philippine Startup Week.
Again, welcome again to Philippine Startup Week, Vince Iamat. And for all those watching us here right now who are curious about 917 Ventures or their Velocity Incubation Program, please put your comments in the chat box. One of our representatives from 917 Ventures will get in touch with you. So Vince, let's get the ball rolling. Please clarify with us right now, aside from being the first three digits of my phone, what is 917 Ventures?
RJ, 917 Ventures is Globe Telecom's corporate incubator that unlocks the unfair advantage of Globe Telecom. We build, operate, and scale businesses for the Philippines and Southeast Asia. Under 917 Ventures are several companies that are in different phases of their startup corporate life. Some are scaled companies already, and some are still in their acceleration phase. For example, the following are our scaled companies. GCash is our fintech company in partnership with Ant Financial. AdSpark is our digital agency. Consulta MD, a telehealth company in partnership with Salud Interactiva of Mexico. Aside from these scaled up companies, we are also accelerating some initiatives in 917 Ventures. We have Rush. Rush is a white label digital loyalty solution currently being used by businesses. Freebie MNL is our conversion channel that brands can use to engage their customers through ads and surveys. And Health Now, another health tech company in partnership with AC Health of Ayala Corporation. We built these companies and initiatives by deploying experienced executives and entrepreneurs that build successful businesses in the past. And we support them with the right processes, the right infrastructure needed to build and scale their businesses. This is our core foundation. We take our own idea or the idea of those who will join us, improve that idea, build it, and take it to the market.
I love it because one of the key things that really stood out for me from what you said is that it's a combination of both executives and entrepreneurs, which is a great combination moving forward. And you talked about the unfair advantage that Globe brings. And we'll talk about a bit more about that later on. Now, just to clarify, Vince, for those of us who have been involved in the local startup scene, we've heard of Kickstart, which is also working together with Globe. So when do I know when I should approach Kickstart? And when do I know when I should approach 917 Ventures with my idea?
That's a really good question, RJ. In fact, we've been asked about that several times. There are similarities, of course, but it's important to note that we have two different operating models. 917 Ventures is a corporate incubator. We are a venture builder. We build new businesses from the ground up, in-house. The ventures that we build are our own idea or the idea of those who will join us. Kickstart, on the other hand, is our corporate venture capital firm. Their focus is deploying capital to high potential startups. So that's basically the main difference. In 917 Ventures, we build it. In Kickstart, they deploy capital to the startup.
Okay, so just to be clear, no, when you go to 917 Ventures, it's really from the even just from the idea stage alone, you can already go to 917 Ventures. When you usually go to Kickstart, the startup might already be up and running. Is that
Correct,
right?
correct, correct. So that's exactly right, RJ. So in 917 Ventures, even if you still don't have that PowerPoint presentation, but you had that idea in your head, we can start our conversation already, as long as you're within 917 Ventures and build a company.
I like that. So people right now who are watching us and watching this program, and they've got a really great idea that is solving a problem, they can actually even talk to you guys already, right?
Yes.
Wow,
Yep. That's correct.
fantastic. Now, moving forward, no, our local startup community has really grown by leaps and bounds in the past several years. And in the country right now, there are several incubators, which is really great for the community as a whole. Of course, they're still a bit competitive with one another. And I want to just know, how does 917 Ventures stand out amongst the other incubators? You kept on mentioning about the Globe Unfair Advantage. What exactly is this Globe Unfair Advantage?
Okay, thank you for that question, RJ. So if you join 917 Venture as a venture builder, you have access to the vast resources of 917 Ventures. Typically, if you build your own company from scratch, a big chunk of your time is allocated in administrative stuff, such as legal, recruiting a team, paying your bills, your payroll, setting up your company, setting up your technical infrastructure, selling, and pitching your product to potential partners, which is, by the way, very hard if you're a small company, because no big company will talk to you if you're a very small company. And lastly, fundraising. Fundraising and all of this administrative stuff takes roughly maybe 50 to 60% of a founder's time, where ideally founders should be focusing on building their product and talking to their customers. In 917 Ventures, our promise is that we support our venture builders by providing all the resources that they need to build a venture. We provide an engineering team, a growth marketing team, HR, finance team, legal, to name a few. You are not going to be lonely, right? If you're a founder, I'm sure a lot of us has experienced that one. I've been a founder myself. During the early stage of your company, you're basically on your own. You're lonely. You're feeling lonely, right? It's difficult, right? So when a venture builder joins us, we fund the idea, we build it, and we will scale it by unlocking the Globe Telecom Group unfair advantage. Now, the Globe ecosystem is a very big ecosystem. Aside from our massive subscriber base, we also have access to the Simple ecosystem of more than 700 million customers in the region. And since we are also part of the Ayala group of companies, we can also tap and leverage their resources. So this is what we're talking about when we say the Globe unfair advantage.
Well, so it means that, just for example, if I've got customers in mind, you can think of, okay, if I go to 917 Ventures with an idea, I can already think with that idea in mind that, hey, I can unlock a new customer base already using Globe's customer base or Globe's technology, or to even think of it bigger, Ayala Corp's technology. Is that right?
That's correct, RJ. In fact, in Globe, if you have, so for example, if you're part of 917 Ventures, it's by default, right, that you will have to offer your products and services to our customer base in Globe. So we have close to 90 million subscribers, right? Consumer subscribers in Globe Telecom, and we have 150,000 corporate customers. So those are within your reach already.
Wow. And aside from that one, you still have the your synergies with the Ayala companies.
Yeah, so that one too. In fact, during COVID, RJ, we created a startup called Health Now. Health Now is in partnership with AC Health of Ayala, wherein we provided our own expertise. Wherein in 917 Ventures, we provided our product build capability and marketing capability, and then AC Health provided the downstream providers. These are the healthcare providers, basically, doctors, laboratory labs, and hospitals. So that's how we work. But if you're a typical startup, it's going to be very difficult, right, to have access to these big companies.
That's right. Now, earlier on, you were mentioning the different companies which you've already scaled up through 917 Ventures. And, you have, of course, Gcash, AdSpark, Consulta. As I look at them, there seem to be, there's certain themes, the certain problems which they are solving, all these titles that you're doing. Can you share with us a bit more? Is there a certain a segment that you're trying to address or certain problems that you are addressing, particularly in 917 Ventures, that isn't being adequately addressed right now?
Right. So the ideas that we are looking for in 917 Ventures ideally should fall under the following focus areas: e-commerce, fintech, health tech, and ad tech. But if you have an idea that doesn't fall into these sectors, that's okay as well, right? But we will prioritize those four ones that I mentioned. We believe that there's a big opportunity in these sectors, and there are several unmet needs that we still need to find out and solve. For example, for ad tech, RJ, how can we increase the conversion rate per ad and lower down the cost? That's a massive problem, right? Around how every time that we advertise online, why is it only like 1% or less than 1% conversion rate?
That's right. That's right.
Right? How can we increase it? And then, but the spend is lower. For fintech and health tech and e-commerce, despite of all of these digital channels and technology, human touch is still very important. So how do we balance human and tech? A lot of customers still want to speak to someone, visit a branch, visit a store, or a clinic. And to your question, right, with all of these problems, right, how do we amplify this? So our venture builders will have access to the massive consumer base of Globe, as mentioned earlier. And so for example, if they're working on a fintech project, they will have access to our Gcash ecosystem. Our Gcash ecosystem has reached more than 26 million users because of our unfair advantage. If you have an advertising idea or an advertising tech idea, you will work with our digital advertising ecosystem through AdSpark. If you have an health tech idea, you will work with the Globe Health Tech team and the AC Health team. And lastly, we also support our ventures every time that we build something with data and the analytics that they need to build and run their businesses. One of the biggest reasons, RJ, why startups fail is because they are building something that nobody wants, right? In Globe, we have a lot of data, right? A lot of data that we use in building a business. So we believe that we can build great things with the right customer insight and data.
Wow. What I'm really seeing over here is really that if a startup comes to you or somebody's got an idea that solves these different issues, the first point of contact will be your ecosystem. You can already leverage on the current startups which are involved there. You can complement them. So if you've got a health tech, you can work with a health tech that's already inside 917 Ventures. Plus, you get the benefit of the whole ecosystem of Globe working to your advantage. Is that right?
Correct. You're correct, RJ. So that's a nice thing about working with 917 Ventures. The ecosystem is in place. It's basically what are we gonna build, right? So for example, if you have an idea for Gcash, right, then let's build something. If you have an idea for like a health tech company, then let's build something because we have all of these, right, within our own ecosystem already.
Yeah, I like the idea that you're actually solving a pain point that startups often encounter, which is either lack of funding at the very start. So the focus of the founder is derailed towards funding, or it's a lack of competence, of managerial competence, because most often founders might have the passion, but they don't have the technical skill or the managerial skill to grow the business correctly. So there's a lot of mistakes on the way. But as you said, no, you're taking the best of what Globe has. You're taking seasoned executives and getting to work on an entrepreneurial idea.
Yep, correct.
Wow. Amazing. Now, the other thing also that I want to point out over here is that oftentimes the secret sauce, or for many people who want to invest in startups, is that they're not only investing in the idea of a business, what they are equally concerned about is that they're investing in the talent, the founder of that idea. Now, having said that, I know over the years that you in 917 Ventures and also your own experience as a startup founder, there are certain qualities that you see in a startup founder that you're looking for to be part of the 917 Ventures team. What exactly are these qualities you're looking for somebody who wants to be a venture founder and be part of the 917 Ventures team?
That's a really good question, RJ. In fact, we've had several debates over this. What's more important, the idea or the talent?
Mhm.
We've decided that we will prioritize talents over ideas from day one. Meaning, if you're entrepreneurial, you have a grit, you're a team player, and you have with good experience in building a product and a proven ability to lead and drive initiatives, you'll be a good fit for 917 Ventures. Now, if you're passionate and obsessed with the problem that you're trying to solve, then you'll get additional points, right? Because that's what's
Mhm.
very important for us. We always say that you should fall in love with the problem, right? Not the solution. But if you demonstrate and show us that you are resilient, adaptive, selfless, and you care like an owner, then you are the one that we are looking for. Because there's a big possibility that ideas will fail. And we need our venture builders to recover and adapt quickly after learning from their mistakes.
I see.
You don't have to be tech savvy
Okay,
to
okay.
to
That's what I
join.
was about to ask that. No, so no tech savvy, no engineering background, no coding background. You don't have to have that.
No, 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 no. You don't have to be tech savvy to join 917 Ventures. The idea is to look for that high potential talent, and we will help and make that individual a winner. We will cultivate their potential, and we will provide the resources that they need to make things happen.
So excellent. Just again reminding the people here right now listening. Some of them are right now breathing a sigh of relief, thinking, "Oh, good, thank God, I don't know how to code, or I really have this really great problem-solving idea, and I can just talk to 917 Ventures." Again, if you're interested to be part of 917 Ventures, or you want to pitch an idea, you got a really great idea. Again, just go to the comments box. Our friends from 917 Ventures are ready to answer your questions. And having said all that, Vince, no, I know that in 917 Ventures, you will be having you do have a unique incubator program called
Mhm.
Velocity, which actually does everything that you're talking about. It's a place where you can start them off, and at the same time, as you get people to join as venture founders, they get to leverage at once the globe ecosystem and even some financing. Can you tell us a
Right.
bit more about the Velocity program?
Okay. So Velocity by 917 Ventures is a regional incubation program. We are looking for venture builder or high potential individuals to pitch their business ideas to us. And if you get accepted into the program, we will build a venture together. We will provide resources, we will give strategic directions, we will fund it, and we will scale it, just like
Wow,
how we scaled our current companies.
wow. Well, and what are the is what, so the criteria? The criteria just basically you got a great idea. Then after that one, they how do they qualify? Do they just have to pitch the idea?
Yeah, so RJ, those who would like to join 917 Ventures and be a venture builder can apply through our website, velocity.917ventures.com. We are accepting up to 10 venture builders for this season. There's a straightforward contact information form. You can send in your CV and then a one pager sharing your idea with us. This one pager is an opportunity for you to demonstrate the thinking process that you put into your idea. But don't worry, we provided guidelines on the website on how to present
Okay.
your idea on a page. Yeah.
So okay, again, if there's somebody, again, you're not looking, or you're looking equally both at the idea and the talent behind the idea that is producing it. And if you're looking for sort of like a template to pitch your business idea, you can find it on the site.
Correct,
Okay.
RJ.
So
Yep.
right now you're looking for 10 pioneer venture builders to join you here right now. So amongst those here in the Philippines Startup Week, if you are interested to become part of the pioneering batch of the 917 Ventures Venture Builder, please contact us right now. You can visit the website. That's velocity.917ventures.com. Again, that's velocity.917ventures.com. It's appearing here at the bottom. Again, thanks so much, Vince, for your time. Now, before we continue with this one, do you just have any, I know that you were formerly an entrepreneur in residence. You put up your own startups. You had your own sets of successes and failures. From all this one, what would you like to share to all the participants here right now in the Startup Week who are either aspiring or budding entrepreneurs and startups who want to put up their own business or who got a great idea but don't know what to do with that idea?
Right. So the most difficult part about being an entrepreneur is when to start, right? You basically have two options. One is to go on your own, and the other one is to basically join a program called Velocity by 917 Ventures. The risk rewards are different, right? When you go on your own, higher risk, higher reward. When you go to a program like 917 Ventures or Velocity by 917 Ventures, the risk is not as aggressive, right? Well, the reward, I mean, is not as aggressive. But in the end, you have lower risk when you join a venture builder because of all the infrastructures that we provide for you. So if you have an idea, go reach out to us and let's go build something.
We're also getting a question here right now from some of the guests. They're asking right now. Some of the attendees are asking us right now. Okay, after they are selected, what is going to be going on? What's the curriculum of the Velocity program when they get in?
Okay, so after you apply, we'll shortlist the applicants, and then we'll give them a call immediately, maybe in the next after 2 weeks, right, of application. The applicant will go into an interview process. We'll discuss about their idea and basically assess, right, if they have the attributes or the qualities that we're looking for. Once accepted, we're gonna build the product together with them. We're gonna refine it. We're gonna improve it. So that's what's gonna happen. Building a product will only take 1 month because we believe that
1 month,
if you, yeah, just 1 month. Because if you're creating or developing a minimum viable product for more than a month, that's not a minimum viable product, in our opinion. So you need to just test or build your minimum viable product. After building your minimum viable product, we now take it to the market, right, and validate it. The most important thing to find out is, are customers actually using it, right? Are we actually solving the pain points that we discovered? So that's basically the process. And then after that one, after the 3-month program, it's basically just a 3-month program, RJ. After the 3-month program, all of these venture builders will have an opportunity to pitch it to our investment committee.
Wow.
An investment committee, that's basically the seed round already. All of the program participants will have an opportunity to raise up to $2 million in capital to continue validating the business. And if they're successful, right, to validate that business, then the end goal basically is to spin off the company. Okay, so when you spin off the company, that's basically an entire company already, and then they're on their own, but we're still there supporting them in scaling their business, just like what we're doing with GCash, with Consulta MD, AdSpark, and the others.
But during that period where they're developing the MVP and they're launching the product, and prior to pitching it to the investors, I understand that there's already a financial grant that you're giving them at that time, just so that they can get the ball rolling. Is that right?
Yes. So once you join the program, where you're accepted, the top 10, let's say, we're gonna give them up to $50,000 immediately to build that prototype.
Wow.
Yep. And that's for the period of 3 months.
Okay. So let's say, for example, I submit my idea right now and I didn't qualify. Can I just keep on going back and submitting another idea and another idea and another idea?
Yes, but as mentioned earlier, RJ, it's not really the idea, right? It's basically the person. The idea, just like, think of it this way. When you apply to business school, right, you write a lot of essay. When you apply to a business school, the idea is basically will allow us to assess your capability as well.
I see.
Yeah. So that's basically how we do it, right?
So it's sort of like, so just to give the analogy, you're applying for business school, you get into business school. This is just applying for business school. And B school
Correct.
is the Velocity Incubation program over there. Now,
Correct.
having said that, there's a question coming in from one of the members listening to us here right now. If they do join the incubation program, do they receive salary during the 3 months they're there? Is this a full-time type of job? Do they have to stay in? And given that we are on this pandemic, do they have to all work together in a team? Is it work from home? Is it are they going to be in a bubble? What's it going to be like?
That's a very good question. So the $50,000 fund that we're going to provide the venture builder the venture builder can draw from that fund. Of course, we put a mechanism in place, right? Not to overpay. Like for example, we don't like the venture builder to take, hey, all 50,000 will just go to me. No. We have some mechanism in place, and that's going to be in our FAQs in our website. Since it's still we're still in lockdown or quarantine, right? All of our venture builders can build their product at home with the support of 917 Ventures. But 917 Ventures, as a venture incubator or some incubator, we also have a facility in BGC. It's a brand new facility.
Wow.
So when we opened up, then we can all go there and build our companies there as well in the future.
Okay, Vince, what if there's some people here right now who have currently, they already have startups and they're interested to go to you? Do they have to give you another startup idea now if it's up and running already? Or there's some startups, they've registered legally but they haven't really done anything yet. Can they still go to you?
Unfortunately, not. Again, we want to build a company together, right, from scratch with 917 Ventures. If you already have a company, established company with traction, and you've incorporated it, it's best for that company to raise venture capital, in our opinion.
So that one goes to Kickstart. That doesn't belong to you over there.
Yes,
Okay.
and we'll be very happy to make that introduction to Kickstart.
Okay. Another great question coming in also from one of the attendees. Some people, you know what, they are not startup people. They're not entrepreneurs. They're corporate employees, you know, who want to, you know, dip into the startup world. They've heard so much. They've seen so many people benefit as well. And they love bringing things to life. But are these the type of people you're looking for with a corporate background, graduate school background, or have you seen any common denominator with regard to who are successful startup founders or venture builder founders?
Right. So venture builders, they're perfect for entrepreneurial professionals. Okay. Simply because entrepreneurial professionals, I believe they're the type that can bet the house, right, to start something. Wherein a lot of entrepreneurial professionals, right, doesn't want to leave that, you know, that stability
That's right.
at work. In 917 Ventures, we provide that kind of stability, right, because you're compensated at the end of the day, and then we build the company again together with you. We scale it. If you fail, that's okay, right? Because you can work on another project with us. Every time that a venture builder fails in 917 Venture, that venture builder learn a lot of things, right? If you learn a lot of things when you're building a company, the success rate of your next project is higher. And that's why we like to recycle all of these venture builders that build companies with us.
Okay. So again, I just want to repeat what you said. It's a very important point because I think what many people are fearing right now to enter into this sort of venture building community is that, you know, I might fail. And, you know, if you do work in a corporate environment, if you fail, you're fired, right? Or if you are an entrepreneur doing this yourself, if you fail, wala ka ng pera, you've got nothing left. But you sort of have that, you know, given 917 Ventures, you can come up with a great idea. You can start it off. You've got the resources, but there's a safety net at the same time for you because you have the sort of corporate background to allow you to survive. And if you fail, that's okay because the culture of failure is embedded in the company, and they can just realign you or reassess where you should belong to continue building other ventures. Is that right, Vince?
Correct. You're exactly right, RJ, and I think there's that space there, right, in the Philippines, especially here in our market. Not a lot of people. I want to be an entrepreneur, but oh my God, there's that cost of comfort, right, with your full-time job in a corporate environment. But you have all the qualities that we're looking for. So these are the type of people that we're looking for, basically.
Well, thanks a lot, Vince, for joining us over here at the Philippine Startup Week. I'm sure you've just piqued the interest of many budding entrepreneurs and startups who didn't know, or budding thinkers, budding people who've got really great ideas but just didn't know where to go. Can you again one more time invite people to sign up right now on 917 and Velocity?
Right. So I invite everyone. If you have an idea, talk to us. Go to velocity.917ventures.com. We have an upcoming program very, very soon. So visit the website and hope to see you there.
Again, thank you so much, Vince Yamat of 917 Ventures. Again, my name is RJ Ledesma. To all those attending here right now, please enjoy the rest of Philippines Startup Week.